Welcome back, YouTube. This is What Happened to Men podcast, and we're here with another great episode to speak about mental health and addiction today.
Yes.
Yes, I said it, addiction. Addiction comes in many shapes, forms, and sizes. It's probably not the right thing to say, but I think they'll get my point. But yeah, addiction is not just how people probably would think about it as far as drugs and stuff like that. Addiction comes in a lot of ways. People are addicted to drugs, like the biggest one we know. Alcohol is not a drug, but
Alcohol is a drug.
Is a drug?
Yeah.
Because it intoxicates you?
Yeah, it's a drug. When I read about mental health and addiction, they kept telling us that alcohol is a drug.
All right.
It's a substance.
Alcohol. People have addictions. Gambling. People have porn addictions and like sex addictions. People have addictions with
Food.
Yeah,
With
food
eating.
addiction.
People have addiction with that. I mean, example for here.
It's nah. You just eat. But there's addiction and a lot of things, and I guess we're gonna talk about how we see addiction, how addiction affected us in our life. Not more so, I guess, saying that we're addicts. Maybe me a little bit. Probably was an addict back then, but but more of how people we know, cause we
and what we grew up around.
yeah, we
basically,
grew. Okay, so y'all know we told y'all we grew up in Philadelphia in the Kensington area. Gene Allegheny right there, and if anybody doesn't know, search it up, look up the Google images, and you'll see exactly what we mean. So walking outside, all you see was crack out, weed out, dope fiends. You got the needles on the floor. You got people in tents. You got people burning up woods and garbage cans, and that's the lifestyle that they live because they choose addiction. I don't know if I could say choose addiction.
I mean,
because I feel like I gotta get
anything
more
you
into
let
it. I gotta get
happen,
more into it.
you choose.
Yeah, I'm gonna get more into it. I'm just saying some things, but yeah. So we're from there. So we had a big impact on addiction. One of our father was felt like he always struggled with addiction as well, and he was fighting demons, and I know that affected us a lot growing up, and so guess we're gonna talk about shine some light on a couple things and like that. So.
Yeah, I mean,
how you want to start off?
Like you said, there's many forms of addiction, and it's crazy because some people will be like, "Oh, I'm not addicted to that," but that a lot of people don't know when they're addicted to something. You know what I'm talking about? Because they just live a life that's regular to them, and it happens on their regular daily basis, and they just be like, "No, that's just who I am." Like, no, bro, you're addicted. It's okay. You're addicted. You don't want to accept that. That's fine. Other people can see it, so just when someone I feel like a lot of people get upset too, like when you go to somebody and you tell them, hey man, I think you should slow down on this, or this is not really good for you, you're doing too much of this. They're like, oh, you don't fucking know, I know how to handle myself.
So I feel like I don't want to really judge because I've been on like the other side. Not I used to smoke a lot of weed and drink a lot, and it became a form of habit at a point, a bad habit. And at a point, I believe that, with them substances I was intaking for years of my life, that I was becoming addicted to it. And I felt like I needed it to function on a like a daily level with the marijuana at one point. And then with the drinking, it was like something I had to do 2-3 times a week. And it was like something I was dependent on kind of to alter my mood and all that. So it's hard for me to sit here and, I'm not going to say judge, but sit here and try to defend people on that side because I always have a heart for that. I always feel like, them people that are suffering from addiction, sometimes it feels like, to me, from what I see, they don't really choose it. And it's more of a bad habit that they can't outgrow or unsee themselves doing, or just, wake up from, like a bad dream, or to them sometimes when they aren't that high, a good dream that they can never wake up from. So they're always chasing it. So it's a touchy subject for me because, like I said, I'm in a life now where I don't do no substances or anything like that, or drink or anything like that, and I could talk about how it positively impact my life in a good way, and how when I used to do it, it was such a downer in my life, and it just brought me down in other ways that I never could see. But at the moment, like if you was to tell me something like that, I would say too, like, "Oh, you don't know what you're talking about, man. Like I know how to control this. I know what I'm doing. With
That's
the
all
weed,
their favorite
like
excuse. I know how to control it.
yeah, it's because at the moment it's not even like just really enjoying it, but it's like I said, some people get caught up in their lifestyle with it, and it's like that's the way they function, kind of like they're so
Yeah,
used
they're
to it. It's like
addicted.
yeah,
That's exactly what you're describing. They're addicted.
yeah. So I want to say I don't know. I don't know how to judge myself on it. I won't say if I was like a chronic addiction with it or how people can never get out of it, because obviously I got out of it, and I'm fighting the battle of overcoming it and sustaining myself from them type of drugs, and as well as like just being able to like I plan on I don't plan, but if I ever go back to drinking one day, is I want to be able in a I want to be in a place mentally, um, and I want to be in a place mentally where I know it won't do any harm that it once used to do to me, or it's not as far as like it will get me back to a point where I need to drink every weekend and shit like that. So it's one of the biggest main reasons why I've stopped drinking. Yeah, so.
Every time you start talking, it's like
I don't
like
want to
you're
keep
doing
because I'll keep running. I'll keep running with my
it's
thoughts.
like you're doing a presentation in school. You be like, yeah.
I
So
hate
then
it.
you look at
Yeah.
your partner or something like
I
that.
look at the
You gotta talk.
people. I hate
But
presentations in school now that you talk about that.
I'm the complete opposite. I never got high in my life. I think because I grew up around it, so I saw what it did to people. I knew what it did to people.
But we grew.
I didn't.
Hold on, because it's crazy when you say it right. I always feel like I'm a crackhead because I ain't do no hardcore drugs. I did marijuana and drinking, but we grew up around what dope, coke, crack, all
Yeah,
that type of
I
stuff.
mean, every drug that.
Well, a drug is a drug, no matter what, man. It's
Yeah,
not good for you.
everything. I feel like we grew up around everything. We know the street words for everything.
If
I
it
mean, we're
impairs your
not.
ability to read,
Yeah,
speak, see, or your senses in life, it probably ain't good for you.
yeah, we're not gonna talk about the street stuff. I feel like we get killed, something like that. We get free game out like that to the cops. But
Get booked.
nah, I'm just playing, man.
Give up
But
the local
yeah, I
spots.
mean, we encountered all that. We've been around all that. I had friends who was dealing that. I was around people who was dealing that. It's just
Have friends that pass away from it too, as
oh
well.
yeah,
Uh,
we definitely did have a
People
friend
that
that
were close
passed
to that
away.
passed away. Yeah,
Yeah, I mean that sucks too when you know something, when you know you try to help and then it's hard. Addiction is hard. I mean, I I kind of have a soft spot for it for the people like that I see hooked on drugs and stuff like that. But in other ways, I sit there, I just be like, get your fucking life together. But the shit happens and stuff like that, and you don't know what they're going through mentally neither.
so
So
I say it's gonna be hard for you
that's
to understand that other side.
yeah. I mean, I know of some drugs they take you to another world where you forget about everything. Like you just forget about everything, and I think some people with real deep rooted mental issues they do that because of that.
A hundred
Their
percent.
mental health ain't right, so
A
they
hundred
look
percent.
for another escape of life besides dying. So they try to take that high for an hour or two and escape. And I do understand because life does get hard, and when you feel like you're alone, dark thoughts do come to your head, and that's why me personally, I feel like that's where a lot of people addiction starts. Is just when they're not mentally there, when they're not fully there to take care of themselves alone. Let me just put it that way, alone, because you don't see any kids on crack or hardcore drugs like that. Yeah, you might see kids smoke weed and share beer with their friends, but I feel like they do that kind of stuff to be cool. But when you
Sometimes
start,
that's how it starts. The gateway
no, yeah,
drug.
of
You know
course,
what I mean? It starts
a
at
hundred
a
percent,
young age, and they don't get that high no more.
a
So
hundred percent.
they're like, hey, try this out,
But I
and
feel
peer
like
pressure leads to it as well.
kids when they start smoking and stuff like that, just because they're around their friends, peer pressure, they want to be
Hmm.
cool and stuff like that. But if it does lead to another hardcore drug, that's why I feel like the addiction and mental health kind of play a part because you're gonna you're gonna you're gonna look for the escape, and a lot of people look for the escape in the addiction, and what they think is a good escape for them because let's face it, the other way out is killing yourself. I'm talking about suicide, and nobody want to take that route, and which is a stupid route.
But if you think about it, it's crazy because these drugs a lot of people suffer from overdose and they end up killing themselves that way.
Yeah.
And I feel like they go out not knowing exactly what was going on
Because I
because they're
mean,
so high.
yeah,
You know what I
one, they're
mean?
so
So they
high.
leave this earth not even realizing it.
Some people, they know that is going to lead to something bad, but they just can't get away from it.
Some people try to
That's
OD themselves.
yeah.
When
Some
they
people
can't
definitely
when
do
they
try.
can't take it no more because that it's a way of going out where you feel you. Well, I don't know. I don't know how that feels, but from what drugs do to you, 9 out of 10 times it's like mellow
thinking,
or they take you out of the world,
right.
out of
I
this
think they're
reality
thinking,
check.
I'm not going to feel anything, and I'm going to go away so numb.
Yeah, and some people would just act out of an impulse and just swallow 10, 20 pills.
Yeah.
And, you know,
Yeah, I mean,
hopefully you're not that person. You
and
know,
some people accidentally OD. I mean,
exactly. Yeah.
look, again, we grew up in Philadelphia, so everybody knows this. This is not new information, but there's a lot of cut drugs out there. You understand? And some people sometimes they think they're taking one drug, in reality they're taking something differently.
It's
cut with
laced.
it, and
It's laced.
and it's scary because that's how people accidentally OD. And you know, sometimes it's just there's also those functional addicts where they have a family, they have a job, you know, they have friends, they have a social life, and here once in a while they escape that with a drug or something like that, and that one time can kill them. And it's sad because you know you hear those stories all the time.
Especially when they're out of sync with it for so long and they try to just hop right back
Yeah, and
into it.
then
That
they get something cut.
your body is not how it used to be, especially when you get older.
They get something cut. And it's sad because you would think they're okay, man. You know what I'm talking about? Because with their wife and kids, and they're happy, they're living a life, they got a amazing job. But like I said, man, everybody's battling something that you never know. And
that drug seems to understand them more than what somebody else will probably.
Of course,
you know 100%.
And then they see it as like, I mean, it's gonna get brought up so many times on this episode, but they see it as an escape, and I get that part. I get that part because I know a lot of people. I mean, that would love an escape from life once in a while, but it's just that's not reality. You can't escape life unless you take the dumb way out, which is a way that I don't agree with. I think it's stupid and it's very selfish of you. You do take that way out, but that's the only way out. And depending on your belief, you still not escaping it because you might go somewhere that's hot and hard forever.
You're leaving your problems with somebody else now that cared about you.
And then you're just hurting a lot of other people. You might think people
that's where the selfish
don't care,
part comes in.
but somebody cares about you all the time. I mean, you take one little step back from your life and just look on the inside, you'll see like, oh shit, people do care. All right, sorry about that, guys. Something happened where we had to cut the video. Hopefully the transition is good from the first part to this part. But I even forgot what I was talking about.
I don't know.
I forgot what I said.
I was worried about the camera. I was saying that we having issues.
Yeah, let's just go.
All right,
back.
I'm gonna start off like this since we were already talking about addiction, right? I'm gonna just bring out the definition for it. All right, addiction is a chronic relapsing brain disorder characterized by compulsive substance use or engagement in behaviors despite harmful consequences, and a loss of control over that use or behavior. So what you get from that? Damn, so it says chronic and relapsing, compulsive behavior, loss of control, brain changes, harmful consequences, and last but not least, treatment.
I mean, I feel like, I don't know. Like, I feel like the definition, I kind of knew it at the age of fucking 10.
No, yeah, I think we all knew. But there's so much into addiction. You know, like right here it says 3 types of addiction. We know is the physical addiction, behavioral addiction, and then impulsive control disorders. That's an addiction as well.
Yeah, I mean, and again, like you said, it's not only drug use addiction. There's other addictions that we can get into with the mental health thing too. It's just, I feel like I just want to target the substance abuse a little more because, like we said, we kind of grew up around that stuff. So it's like I want to make light on that in a way. I want to.
That's the one we can relate to.
Yeah.
Really, really go off the back of our heads. But, I'm pretty sure every episode we're doing, we're going to have a part 2 and 3 too because it's not enough time in the world to speak about it.
We can't really relate to the other addictions. What the other addiction you said?
Gambling.
Oh, no. I mean,
I don't really gamble like that.
That I guess it's not only me neither. And too.
Yeah, I don't use all that stuff. Y'all be using FanDuel
And
and all
two,
that. I mean, we go to
man,
casino. I'll go with y'all. I'll probably take out a couple hundred using. Then I'll be like, I ain't gonna take no more, and I'll probably take another hundred or two. But other than that, like I'm not really big on all that bets and all that stuff
I
like that.
love that. I
It's probably because
love
I'm so
it.
hard
I
for my
love it.
fucking money. I'm not gonna spend $10 on a bet, and I'll be like, I might lose
Probably,
it.
but I love it. I hate losing though. I do. I lose often too. Fuck you, FanDuel. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Don't
Yeah,
don't ban me from that. Don't ban me.
that
But it's
that's an
just,
addiction. It's an addiction. It's a
I
it's,
guess. I mean, yeah, because I can't go when it's but it's only when football season starts. When football season starts, I cannot go a weekend without putting in a parlay. There's no way in
they
the
said
world.
the worst bets are parlays, the big leg parlays. If you
It's
do the
just
more simple, like a one or two parlay,
I've
your
been doing
chances
that
of
lately
hitting
though.
is like
I've been
eighty
doing that.
percent more. They said
I've been doing that. I've been creating like 3 tickets.
3 tickets, you gotta put a bigger amount down. Anyway, we going that's
I mean, that's still addiction. That's what we can talk about. But anyway, yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah. I guess gambling. Yeah, I can relate to that too. But I don't think it's just. Well, I can't even say that because gambling does take a toll on people's lives and it does destroy your mental health, marriages, and stuff like that. And damn, that's a crazy one because I can't see myself getting to that high point of
Some people gamble so much though they're willing to, how can you say, I guess, lose what they have, like sacrifice their own valuables
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I
to put
can't
back
see
in that,
myself
and
doing that.
that's
I could
the
lose
addiction part.
500 a night. Yeah,
That's
that's okay
still
with me.
that's
But
kind of stuff addiction though.
yeah, I know I get that. But some people like they put their house on it, like in a way, like they'll gamble their mortgage and they'll gamble their rent money. They'll gamble their bill money. Like I won't do that. Like I
It's a
gamble money that I have left over.
it's in the head.
Nah, yeah, that's crazy. I mean, that and for that, man, please get help. I mean, because
For
that's
any addiction,
insane.
get help,
Because
man.
no, yeah, of course, 100%. But
I guess
that,
I'm gonna get straight
I
into
mean,
something.
you had the animal porn addiction.
Yeah, right. Don't ever play like that. Shit. I mean, I've seen some dogs having sex in the hood many times and cats, but I ain't never
Oh
got off
man,
of some shit like that. I thought he was about to say something else. I heard of somebody who does shit like that who used to watch it. They got caught and got bad, but hey,
that's
don't
wild.
shoot the messenger.
I know it's one of your friends. I know for a fact. Y'all
Nah,
TBK boys, man, y'all was on some
nah, it
crazy
was only
stuff.
three of us, so two of them I don't
Exactly.
even talk to anymore. So what that makes is me by myself now.
That's crazy.
It's TBJ. It's just me, the best J. Oh, that's good. There we go. Make a T-shirt.
That's
Um,
crazy.
but yeah. Let's. I guess I could.
We could focus on the substance abuse. Let's do that. We could just focus on
Let's
that.
do yeah, the substance abuse.
Because I feel like
guess
everybody go through it. Even if you're not addicted, you know somebody that is addicted to some type of substance, and it's not good.
I
In the
guess we could
family.
talk about a real good thing is to talk about how did it affect us growing up, environment wise, living with somebody who went through it, seeing them go through it, the feelings we have, the damages it could do to you.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely does that. It does a lot of damage. I feel like we're kind of fucked up now because of what we saw. You know what I'm talking about? Just
Yeah,
either
and I just did
fear
a
or
disclaimer because I know people don't like hearing certain things, but again, what we lived through and experience is to each his
oh
own.
yeah,
It's
yeah. I'm
not
not.
it's not like I bash my parents for this because
We
if
don't
I
gotta disclaim nothing though.
yeah
I
yeah
mean,
I know, I'm just saying I have a big, if anybody truly knows me, is I have a big soft piece of my heart for my father because I always felt like he was battling shit he could have never handled, and he's the type of person that was never speaking about his feelings, and that's probably why we're so committed to what we're doing now. But he wouldn't speak about his feelings and what he goes through, and he'll put on this show to act like he's happy. But some way, somehow, my dad always fell back into his dark tunnel. And as a grown man now, I just wish I was there now. Maybe when I was like 5, 6, 7, and I could see him, the man he was, and just give him a hug and let him know that it'll be okay and work him through it. But it definitely, if we could talk about the effects, it affected me big time. Um, as the person I am today, a lot of the times when I was like getting drunk and all that, everybody would tell you that I cried a lot. I cried. I cried over a lot of things when I was drunk, and I just feel like, it was just from a lot of pain. Again, I don't know exactly where it came from, but some people cry because they just start talking about love. I cried just because I felt like this big deep sadness part of me, and I always one of the biggest things is I always thought about my parents when I got drunk. I would constantly think about them and my brothers and my family, like all my cousins, everybody, wife, children, and I'll just think about everyone and I'll think about the saddest freaking outcome that may happen and I'll just sit there and just start crying about it. But the biggest thing I used to do was I used to cry because I used to think about our dad, honestly, and the way he felt when I used to drink and I, I hated the fact that he never expressed his emotion. Like I wish he did, and maybe
Yeah, I
yeah,
mean,
I feel like he was doing to him probably he thought he was doing a good job by hiding everything from us.
yeah, because
But
he's
at that
old
point we
school.
knew, yeah, but we
Yeah,
knew
old
what was
school.
going on at some point of our life. I found things, I seen things, we experienced things, and it was tough. It left a big part of my life, big part of my childhood. It went down the wrong way because of the them type of experiences and being around that. It didn't help living in Kensington and Allegheny. Did not help me at all. Going outside and seeing people that my friends and their parents doing it, or people close to me doing it. And what sucked the most is when I started smoking. I was 17, and then I started smoking weed, and it wasn't because I kind of chose to. I felt like I was peer pressure, but when one of my boys was doing it, and I found that the other one was doing it, they didn't tell me about it. So then the one told me, and then I just started smoking, and ever since then, I was smoking for years straight. And when I used to do it, I always felt like this relief in life, but I also felt a very, very part of me felt guilty. I felt extremely guilty because I always told myself, like, my dad did this, I shouldn't be doing shit like this. Even though he didn't do the softer drugs, my dad was on some hard shit. But I'm pretty sure all the 80s and 70 guys and women, they used to do some hard shit from what I
Yeah,
heard. But
there's some people our age doing hard shit whenever they get
yeah.
excited. Like it just it's weird. It's weird.
So I always felt guilty with it, especially when y'all didn't fuck with none of that or do any of that. And y'all used to see me, and I used to be afraid. I used to take eye drops all the time, but obviously you could tell if I was high, you just couldn't see it in my face anymore because the eye drops cleared me right up. But I did eye drops. I did anything to make like kind of disguise myself around my family, my loved ones, so they won't see what I did because I felt ashamed of it. I was totally ashamed of what I was doing, but at the same time, I couldn't let it go. And all I can say is that it took so much time of my life to realize that what I was doing wasn't right. And no matter how many times you could say or anybody can say it wasn't getting through to me. To me, I was living a life that was okay. And I'm thankful I could be able to be here today to share the experience because I will vouch for anyone to not get down that road because I thank God I woke up early enough to not touch anything else or get involved in that. I always told myself I would never do it, so I was kind of strong with it, but I was still addicted to marijuana at a point. I was still addicted to drinking at a point because I needed it. Yeah, that's being addicted. I sound like an addict right now. Like I needed that shit to function. I needed that shit to reward myself for hard weeks of work. You know what I mean? At the end of the week, let me sit back and drink
That's
a
crazy you
bottle.
said that.
Like,
That's what I wanted to talk about too. For everybody that be like, oh, I'm not addicted. It just I feel like I can reward myself at the end of the week. That's addiction. That's exactly what addiction is. It's okay. Like you're addicted. I mean,
because it's a crave at that point. One of
yeah,
the elements of addiction is crave. It's
yeah, it's a
crave,
craving.
compulsion. So you're craving something.
Yeah,
And you're
and
telling yourself, you're giving your mind this dopamine, like, oh, I'm gonna reward myself. So now you're getting all excited and happy to do something like that. That I mean, the way I handled it wasn't good effects, but other people they handled it much better. But still, addiction is addiction. So if you feel as though that you're gonna reward yourself over a hard weeks of work because of that,
with
then
a substance,
maybe that's not the way to enjoy it. Maybe that's not the proper way to use it. Again, to each his own.
yeah. I
To each his
mean,
own.
and that's what I said. Like addiction could come in ways. I feel like me is with food. Like if I have a long week, I'll go home and let's say be like, you want to order? I'm like, give me a fat ass cheesesteak.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't been doing that lately,
Start eating
guys.
the kid
Guys,
shit.
guys, I'm on a diet. I'm on a I'm on a diet. I don't want to describe my diet because it's not a diet a lot of people would agree with, but I have been losing weight. I lost some pounds. Clap it up. Clap it up. Clap it up. There y'all go. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. But I lost some weight. I just want to clear that
So
up
he's
because
fighting
I'm working on
he's
myself.
fighting
You
his
see?
addiction.
This is helping me. This is helping me. Because I told myself, I said, yo, if I want to help people or I want people to start talking and feeling better, I need to do something. I can't keep going in the camera and people keep yelling through the camera, shut your fat ass up. I gotta do something. I gotta lose a little bit weight. You understand? So to show that I am trying to. But yeah, I just wanted to put that out there. I went on the diet. Anyway, yeah, like he said, it's not a reward. I need you guys to understand that it's not a reward because it's not good for you. It's not good for you. Like if if you want to get technical and be like, oh, why should I stop drinking? Give me a reason. Point blank, it's just not good for you. So if you want to
we all
reward
know
your
that.
son
Who
that's
knows?
not
We
good
know.
for you, that's an addiction. You crave a bad thing for yourself. It's an addiction. You got to understand that. Like, I hope you watching this, that triggers something in your head that you're addicted. Understand. You have to understand how that sounds. You're a grown adult and you're addicted to something that's bad and you won't stop because you feel like you don't have to. That's sad. You definitely have to help yourself because that's not a good way to live your life. That's not a good way to live your life. You can't keep giving yourself something that's bad for you because you think it's a reward. That sounds insane. It sounds like not only that you struggle with mental issues, but like you have a mental illness because you're going to the lengths of putting in all this hard work, all this hustle, all this dedication, all this pride for yourself throughout the whole week. And at the end of it all, you bring it down with something that technically is killing you on the inside. That's not a good way to live. That's not a reward. You know what you reward yourself with? You come home, you finish your week of work, let's go out and celebrate. Let's have a nice dinner. Celebrate on that. Celebrate your week on that. Or let's go and enjoy a fucking, what's that thing you went to go to last time? A comedy show.
Oh, a comedy show.
Let's go enjoy
Or
some
treat-
live music. Something that
treat
soothes-
yourself. Treat yourself with something you
that
love.
soothes your mind, put you at ease.
Go get a
and let
massage.
all
Go get a
that stress
massage.
you had during the work week just flow out of you. Why would you want to do something that's
Harmful.
destroying you? The only reason I'm talking so much about it because I really don't understand that. Like when he used to talk, we'll be on the phone on Friday. I'm still at work. He's out of work. I said, "Where you at?" He said, "A liquor store."
Wine and spirits.
I said, "You buying another liquor bottle?"
Mm-hmm.
Like, why not? I had a long week. Like it just doesn't make sense to me. Like I don't understand where people get that from.
And my excuse was, I deserved it. I worked all week, and it doesn't matter because I'm in the gym still throughout the week, and I'm working out. So I'm
And
all
it
right.
made no
I used to tell him like,
sense.
"Hey,
I'm like, yo,
I'm jogging. My heart's good. This is all good."
It's a bad, like, alcohol literally has warning labels on it that says causes cancer. It's literally a warning label that
do a
says
lot of our food.
causes
Is crazy.
cancer, and people say, "Let me reward myself with that."
And don't get it wrong. I don't want people thinking that we're against it because that would be hypocritical because you drink. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah,
But
yeah.
it's
No, I'm
more.
talking about
We're
addiction,
talking about
though.
addiction.
Yeah,
when
yeah,
you're
yeah. I'm not talking
addicted
about
to it.
enjoying yourself here and there because I drink probably like what you say every party. I don't even drink every party.
Maybe once every 3 weeks to a month, probably.
Did I drink?
Probably.
Hell
If
no.
it was, we had like 2 parties in the last 2 or 3 months. Not parties, but like family get together.
Get together.
Yeah, because we don't party.
Yeah.
We don't do none of that shit.
I don't drink that often. You said every 3 weeks. That's crazy.
I said once. I don't know if you do it at home. That's why I'm just taking the average estimate.
I don't drink at home or nothing like that. Like I don't go buy a 6-pack or stuff like that. It just for me it's different than a lot of you guys. It's just for me, I grew up with that. You know what I'm talking about? I grew up with the alcohol. I grew up with the anger because of alcohol. I grew up with the mood swings of alcohol. I grew up with alcohol destroying a marriage. I grew up with alcohol destroying a man. I grew up with alcohol destroying children. I grew up with all that, so I don't want
Alcohol
that. I didn't need that.
destroying a home.
Since I was a kid, none of that fazed me. Like my friends would get high in front of me, and it just I looked at them as and he could tell you like I stopped messing with one of my friends, and he was my friend before he was his friend, and I was friend was with him for years.
Yep.
And as soon as he started smoking, Y'all never saw me again, right?
Well, because he started changing. He started going through these different moods.
Yeah, and
I didn't
that's
notice at
another
the
thing
time because I
too, man. Like I
started,
know a lot of you smokers right now. Y'all, what I'm about to say, y'all not gonna like it, but weed fucks with your head, man. I
it
don't
does some
care what
psychological shit
nobody
to you. So I don't
says.
want to hear it
Oh,
because
it's just a plant. Shut the fuck up. That shit fucks with you because if you not smoking that day, you mad as shit, you dumbass. Because you need to smoke. Like you get scared, you need to smoke.
when
You
you add
hungry,
it
you
to
need
it,
to smoke. After you eat, you need to
just
smoke.
every function you talking about roll up, and it's like, what's the purpose? I
Yeah,
mean,
like you fucking
and
weirdo. Like
that's how
that's so weird to me. Like
I'm.
you need that shit to function in your life on a daily basis.
I'm cool. I'm cool with the fact that people do it here and there, but when it was like to a point how I did it, like, look, man, I was smoking on an average. When I was smoking, I was smoking easily 4 Dutches to 7 on a day. I was smoking a quarter of weed a day. You, that shit wasn't good, and it was going up. And now people be like, "Oh, you a lightweight? I did way more." That's a lot. And what it did was just numb me throughout most of my day. Like I was just high all day. Do you know how fucked up that is? And one of the biggest reasons, like you said, it breaks down at home. Like I have a family, and I had to wake the fuck up. I had to wake the fuck up and change the way I move. Because that shit wasn't good for me. It wasn't good for my children, my brothers, my mom, my pops, my wife. That wasn't good for nobody. Most importantly, that wasn't good for me. I had to change that. I had to change that. So that's why I could sit here today. I say stand, but I'm better without it. There's much more maturity that comes after it when you can acknowledge that that was a problem in your life. And I could acknowledge to everybody, I was a problem when I did shit like that. Not every time, but if I did bad shit when it happened, then I was a fucking problem when I was under the influence. You understand me? You got to see it like that. Like, you could have 10 moments, but have one bad moment. When you did it, when you was high or drunk, listen, man, that's on you. That's your fault. It's your fault. Wake up. So, that's why I said I won't go back to drinking until I'm ready. And so I know it's just one of these things where you do it to celebrate and not do it to abuse it. Smoking, I'm cool. If I do it ever in my life, probably when I retire or here and there, it would never go back to how it was either because I don't want to live like a life like that no more. Every day waking up and I got to smoke after I brush my teeth to eat breakfast because my appetite wasn't there. And I know you know what I'm talking about. People who lived that life. You had to eat, you had to smoke a blunt in order to eat your food. You know what I mean? You had to smoke a blunt to enjoy your day out with your family. You know, all you're doing is hiding the identity that you're supposed to be. You're hiding it and you're throwing it away. Again, people do it for a lot of different reasons. I did it. I did it because at one point it was cool in my life. I was enjoying it. After that, I smoked because I wanted to burn my heart. Because I wanted to keep smoking till that heart was filled with smoke. Because I started feeling like shit about myself. I started drinking at one point after that because I started letting all the demons take me. I started letting all that shit overcome my head, get inside my life, and drink my liver away. You know what I mean? And that wasn't cool. Addiction is bad, guys. Guys, girls. When I say guys for girls too, but addiction is terrible, man. I seen addiction
Addiction
tear
is
away
bad.
families. I seen addiction, have successful people lose their
I
life.
just it pisses me off with the type of addiction people be on, like the rewarding thing. I forgot all about that. That pisses me off.
That was one of my
Me and you
excuses.
used to argue about that shit all the time. Like, oh no, relax, man. And I used to
And
tell you that you're fucking dumb. You're
it's
stupid. Like,
it's an excuse.
Yeah,
It's an excuse. At the moment, I would defend myself, but seeing it now, and I kind of, like I said, I felt guilty in them senses too. But obviously, I'm not going to admit it. Why? Because I'm still fucking doing it. Why would I admit to you that I'm doing something wrong? Why? If I know
Yeah.
I'm a highly good man, why would I say, "Oh, I'm doing this wrong"? No, I'm not. I'm gonna keep doing it because I don't find it an issue.
and that's
You know what I mean? I'm like,
That's
oh,
why I
I'm
wanted
not
to
fucking.
just
I'm not
attack
fucking with anybody else.
I wanted to just attack the smokers real quick because they piss me off, man. And we know a lot of them. We know a lot of weed smokers. Like almost everybody we know.
When the smokers like that, they're chronic smokers. But it's crazy because there is some people that smoke all the time, and they're just mellow ass people. So I personally never met one though. I personally never met one. I still see effects even from the mellow ones that their mood changes. Yeah. I mean, mine alters.
Yeah, when you don't smoke, you know you get mood swings. Y'all know it, man. It's nothing new. Yes, y'all will deny it to the last very breath that y'all have, which is not that much because your lungs are fucked up right now. But the only thing that y'all ever say is nobody ever OD'd on weed or weed is a
which is
plant.
true from what I hear.
It's
Like all the
true, but
research
that
is true.
doesn't mean it does something to
So
you.
they be like, "Hey, it's a drug." Yeah, it is a fucking drug because you gotta get prescribed it from a
yeah, like
pharmaceutical
that
place, right?
doesn't
So it's
mean like
still a
it's
drug.
not. And that another excuse is gonna be, oh, that's because the government want to make money on it. Shut up, man. You like some of the. Now, some weed smokers, y'all cool as shit. Y'all know how to handle it. Y'all very, very, very responsible with it. Y'all do your thing. But there's the other weed smokers that once they start smoking, they want to talk to you about how much of a life that they know, and they got the fucking answers to space.
You
And
got it all figured out, but when they're
I
off that, when they
hate
got
them
it, when they off
smokers,
that
bro. You
weed,
know how quick I'll be just
when
leaving? I'll be like, yo, I'm out.
when
Like,
they off that weed, it's a whole different
and when they
person.
off weed, it's just they still stupid, but it's just like it's a different stupid. And then when they get on that weed, you cannot speak to them because they're like, bro, trust me, bro. You gotta trust me. I know I spoke to an alien. Like, nah, bro, you was just high talking to your dog. Like, relax.
Shit.
Like, shut up, bro. It's different things, man. But I'm sorry, I feel like we just we just went off on why we hate certain stuff. But nah, man, cause that fucks with your mental health right there. Like you around people who get high and fucking start smoking, and you're just like, now you're angry with them. You understand? So that's you got these different emotions against them, and you're like, oh, I don't want you doing that. And then another thing is like, I don't like the person you are, and then another thing is like, I want you to be good. But again,
I really,
everybody is, hopefully that's watching this is grown enough to make your own decisions and you do what you
yeah,
want.
hundred
All I'm
percent.
saying is not good, and I hope you understand that you are addicted to something that you shouldn't be addicted to. And me, I take it so passionate because, like I said, I never got high because I knew what it did, I knew what it was, I knew it was bad, and I told you guys from a very early age, I knew right and wrong. I knew what I had to do, and I always wanted to be something that everybody else around me wasn't, and that was different. I always wanted to be like that. I know it sounds cheesy as fuck, but I don't know no other way to put it. Like, everybody I knew smoked weed, and I didn't. Everybody I knew ran away from home to get high and drunk with their friends at a party. I didn't. Like, you know what I'm talking about? Like, I did dumb shit. Like, I used to break night outside and shit like that. But that's teenage shit. You understand? Like, teenagers want to be outside. They want to do dumb shit. You know what I'm talking about? But I did a lot of different things that other people did to fit in or seem cool. And I was never that type. Like, I was never trying to fit in with nobody. Like, oh, why you weird? Like, you always alone or quiet by yourself. I'm like, all right, cool. Like, I don't care. Like, it really didn't bother me. But now seeing it, I can see why I was like that. Like, cause sometimes I would listen to people. I'm like, damn, am I really weird? Like, everybody's doing this, why I'm not doing this? But now that I'm grown enough to understand it, like, and I look at it, I'm like, I knew why, man, and I'm thankful. I'm very thankful that I was strong willed then to not give in to the peer
Yeah.
pressure and not give in to what I thought that I was going through mentally because people were doing something different. You know, like I'm thankful for that because I knew it destroyed things. I just knew that. You know, some people probably didn't grow up how I grew up, and that's why they became the dickheads they became. And it is what it is. At the end of the day, I'm not judging anybody. I just think it's wrong. I mean, if I do think something is wrong, I will express that.
That's why
But
we speaking about the episode. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
like
Because
again,
we find it an issue with mental health. It comes back to our mental health,
I'm
and
not putting you through the floor to make you seem like you're a piece of shit. Listen, I just don't like that you smoke. That's it. I mean,
some people do. Some people they actually have the addictions and suffer from it, and then some people suffer from other people going through addiction. You know what I mean? So it comes back to our mental health either way.
yeah, and
Um,
I read something that said people with mental issues with like mental health, like anxiety, depression, stuff like that, are twice as likely to develop
a form of habit like that.
an addiction
Hmm.
of substance abuse. And that's crazy to me because I'm like, yo, like I grew up with mental health issues and I still didn't became addicted to any substance abuse
I was the
type of
opposite. It
thing.
was crazy is that I literally had to go to sleep high. Like I had to smoke before I go to sleep, and if I didn't, like when I was younger and I couldn't get when I couldn't get it like that, I used to always try to like get a friend to go half with me to get something. You know, like spark up with me.
You're a crackhead,
Yo,
bro.
it was crazy like that, but it was like right before bed. Like, all right, hold on, let's do this at 9 o'clock, cause you know we all going inside at 10. So shower, go to bed, and meet y'all here after school again. But it was like that, and it was like if I couldn't, bro. I remember on the weekend sometimes like it got to a point my friends started like they were all hide their shit, and I was at a point where I was always sparking up, and I told myself, look, man, I'm spending too much money on other people. I gotta bring one to the crib somewhere and smoke it on. It gets to the point like you're not even enjoying it anymore. Like that's how I knew I was becoming. I can't say right there I was becoming, but right there I knew in my life like, yo, man, I'm definitely doing something bad if I'm smoking around the block by myself in the corner. Just to smoke and then go back to my house. Like that was terrible. And just to smoke, just to be able to go to bed. And if I couldn't, I remember the mood swings I had at night. Like I couldn't sleep good without it, or like at all, fall asleep at all. And it was just, it's terrible feeling that way. I remember lying to people, lying to mom, lying to people I was around, um, just to go out there and catch that high, lying about my work hours to smoke. And that's crazy. And, like I said, thankfully I woke up, man, and it wasn't crazy late. Like, my kids are growing up. My son was born at the time. My daughter didn't really get the, wasn't how can I say, was in that part of my life when, because she's only 6 now, so she wasn't really there when I was really heavy into it. My son was, but not like I showed him about it, you know what I mean? But I was still high around him. I had to admit that, like I said, eye drops. I put the eye drops on and go around, and it wasn't cool. I missed out on a lot. Definitely messed up a lot of mental things with me, triggered a lot of other shit. I'm thinking that it was helping my anxiety and all that. Turns out it wasn't. It was just, numbing it for the moment being, but
It's crazy
it
because some
actually
people.
triggered it more when
That's
I
I'm about to
wasn't
say that.
high
Yeah,
and
some
all that.
people will admit that. Like I know some people told me like, cause me, I never got high, so I used to always ask everybody like, yo, how that feels, like how
Yeah.
it feels, and they'd be like, after I smoke, I get anxiety, man. That shit fucked out. And I used to ask them like, then why you smoke? And I'm like, what the hell?
The
And they be like,
beginning for me was giggles. I used to always laugh and have the munchies, and then it came to a point where I was just doing it just to do it in my life, and I really thought I was never going to be able to get away from it. That's how I felt like. I feel like we're born, right? We're all born free, and I feel like at one point in my life I was a slave to addiction for like, man, 7, 10 years of my life, and that's crazy. That's the way I think about it now. Like I was a slave to that shit. I couldn't get away from it. Like I kept fucking doing it. And I would tell myself, "Oh, I'm gonna start next week and not do it. I'm gonna start next week and not do it. I'm gonna start next week and I would probably last a couple of days. And if I would get back on, it'd just be heavy back into it. And it's like, damn, man. Then when I stopped smoking, I started drinking. I didn't drink my first beer till I was 21. The
yeah,
legal age.
I
That
think
was in your party. I mean, it was my birthday. The day I got the tattoo when I turned 21. When I got my son middle name on me.
it was a
I went
set
to your
birthday.
house. Yeah, it was and that's when Andrew came down and stuff.
Yeah,
I believe, right?
yeah.
And I remember
No, wait, was it? Yeah, I think it was. It was
it was
somebody's
Christmas Eve. It was my birthday.
I think.
But it
I
was
think
y'all was having a Christmas Eve party.
Yeah. We was
It
having
was a Christmas Eve party, and
Yeah, yeah.
Lissette's sisters were there, I think.
Yeah.
Right? And
They came from
her
Florida.
boyfriend and my cousin came down from the army with his wife, and I remember getting like in the beginning I was drinking with y'all. But I'm like, oh, y'all always drink. This shit ain't nothing. I remember that night that shit hit me, and I just started balling out. My mom drove me home in my car to my apartment, and I remember right there was when I had my first I guess one of my first mental breakdowns, like really bad under the influence, because I had mental breakdowns before then, but this one was under the influence, and my mom couldn't stop me from crying. I remember Aunt was like nervous as fuck. She was telling me walk in another room, and he was at a point he looked at me, his eyes got teary, and I'm just crying, and then I remember that night when they left. God bless her soul, but Titi Maggie gave mom one of her favorite wine bottles before passing away. And mommy gave it to me that night. I drank and I just started crying about Titi Maggie all night. And I was by myself in there. And then I woke up the next day talking about I wouldn't do it again, but it happened with weed, the same thing. That same weekend I went back to it. And then ever since then I was drinking for years straight again. And you just find yourself, you tell yourself you wouldn't do it, but at the beginning it numbed so much, or it felt a good relief. And I'm like,
Yeah,
I don't
'cause,
know how to describe it, but I knew it wasn't good for me, guys. Like it wasn't good for me. And again, it's hard some days because I go through these, I don't want to say withdrawals no more, but I get these moments where I want to do something like that to numb myself. But I am more than thankful for what I'm doing today for myself, because I know I'm truly making a difference in my life, not only in my life, but the people around me. Like they don't got to worry about me no more. When it comes to something like that, they don't got to be afraid that something's going to happen to me, and I don't got to be worried where I'm going to be trapped with my demons again. Like I'm fighting that shit the real way, how I should fight it now, and I'm going through it the proper way. My habits now is gym. My habits now is probably overdoing too much for people, and You know, these are habits that ain't as bad as drinking and smoking. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I
Some are
feel
good.
like
Some ain't.
too. Alcohol gotta tie in with some type of emotional state in the brain or something like that.
For some
It
people,
gotta
cause
tie in
some
there.
people get angry as
Yeah,
fuck.
yeah. Some
They
people.
be trying to
Yeah,
just
you
straight
can,
go
I
demon
don't fuck. I
time.
don't fuck with those people. As soon as I see a drunk person mad, I am out. Ain't nothing stopping
You
me.
know,
There's
that's how
nothing
Pop
stopping me.
was sometimes. But
Yeah.
it's like he was the coolest dude on life. But if he was snapped like that,
Yeah, I go right
look
to the room.
around.
And I would just be
Woo!
praying. I'm like, yo, I just pray to God he don't walk out
I
that
just
door
be
because I
praying
know
like,
somebody gonna try to fuck him
nah.
up.
I'll be like, let's just keep dancing in the basement, Pop. Come on. He be like, JY, come down. I'm like, all right, bet. What dance? All here. You want me to tell $3 for mom? Get another beer? I got you. But don't leave that house because my dad, one thing, man, could be an army standing in front of him. You say something when he's like that, it's go time. It was just
Yeah,
ready
he ain't
to
give a
Royal
fuck. He ain't give
Rumble.
a fuck. You know how many times he came home, beat the fuck up?
I
I'm like, yo, who
remember-
did it? We go outside.
He don't
There's
even
like
know who
10
did
guys
it.
outside. I'm like,
But he'll point at the
on.
wrong guy. He'll point at the neighbor. He'll look at the wrong person. I'm like, yo,
Remember in my house when he got drunk as hell
that
on
was-
New Year's, and
That story,
my neighbor was
man.
like, "Hey, Happy New Year." He was like, "Shut up, bitch."
Yeah.
I was like-
Yeah, the boy was walking down the block. He said, "Shut up, man." I was like, "Yo, I'm sorry. We had to apologize." Like, we laughing about it, but that was a bad trauma experience.
Yo, that was
That all right, look,
scary.
that was the first time you drank that day, right? Was you drinking?
I did 2 beers.
All right, but I drank with him. That was the first day I drank my father, and he was like, "Hey, come try this fireball with ginger ale." He's like, "This called this a Jaeger bomber, son." We had Jaeger with him. We just drinking, and we all started talking at the table. What I just kept laughing, right?
Yeah, something.
I was just
And
laughing, and my
his
dad was
demon
cool the
came
whole
out.
night. Like
His demon came
he
right
was
up.
so proud and happy. He's sitting in the kitchen with me. He's like,
He was like,
"Oh,
yo, I
finally
finally get to drink with my boys.
drink with my boys, man. This is amazing."
Yeah, I can't wait to ruin their night later.
I see his girl looking at him with the eye, and then I just remember I just laughed about son, and he just turned and said, "What's so fucking funny?"
Yo,
I'm
right
like,
there,
and I looked at you. I'm
I
like,
went to the-
you
I
told him. You was like, "Yo, Pa, he always get jolly when he drinks sometime."
yo, I promise you can actually say I went to the kitchen and I dumped my beer out. I got so fucking scared.
The thing
Yo,
is-
the fear that went through my body as soon as, because we was playing the card game or something, right? Wasn't it like-
He was eating at the time too, cause he had something.
yeah,
in his
he was
mouth.
eating. I think all of us was like playing Pokemon.
But we was
or something.
chilling, yeah, and
We was
then-
all at the table. He's there.
He told me about a raise he got at his job, and I don't know why I just started laughing.
Yeah,
he
was
took it the wrong
laughing,
way.
but
I was laughing
that's
already.
What we did. Like when we drank together, we laughed all day, all night. That's all we did is laugh. But we never drank with my dad, and that was the first time we drank with my dad. And we knew he had a drinking problem before that, and you know, like
We gave it a
said,
chance. We
yeah,
gave it a
just
chance,
wanted
like,
to give
maybe
it a
he'll be
chance
okay
because
drinking with us.
Every guy wants to experience that with their father. You know,
Never again for me. Never
I'll
again.
never do that shit again. But we was
Oh,
at the
shit.
table, and he was eating. All of a sudden, he stopped. This is like a fucking movie scene. He stopped,
so
dropped the
fucking funny.
spoon, and just turned his head and said, "What's so fucking funny?"
I tell him like, nah,
The
he just
fear.
laughed.
You guys don't understand the fear that went through my body when those words came out his mouth were instantly giving me the sweats. I got up from the table so fast and dumped my beer out. I took all the other beers out the fridge. I put them in our back room. I was scared as shit. And I told us I said, listen, if my dad gets mad, don't get scared.
Yo, everybody got scared that night.
Everybody was shook. Me and home was used to it though.
The
but
thing is,
everybody was shook.
I remember this night. We gonna talk about it since already there, but
Yeah, I don't give a fuck.
The thing is, like, that's why I laughed through that. Like, it. After that, we was still cool for a period of time. We sang Happy New Year's, right? He goes outside. I don't know what the fuck going on. He left one of my little brothers outside. They knock on the door crying. His girl start arguing with him. I don't know how I just walked outside and then I see my dad just out there like snapping. I'm like, yo, what's going on?
In the middle
Calm
of the
down.
street, just
And I'm tipsy. I'm on,
crazy.
right? And I'm just like, I don't know. For some reason, I remember too many details. And I'm like, yo, what's going on with you? Like, relax. He's like, oh, fuck this. Everybody thinks everything's funny. And he's just going crazy. And I remember he told me a couple things. And I'm like, yo, what's up with you? Like, what the fuck going on? We was just having a good time.
And then he comes to me, like he's going off in the middle of the street. I'm gonna paint you out a picture. He's in the middle of the street going
Yeah.
the fuck off. It's like 1:00 in the morning, guys. He's going the fuck off, yelling, saying, "Oh, you think I'm a fucking joke?" Talking to him, mind you, this is his son. He's talking to him,
And I'm
So
looking
I go
around
to
like,
my
what's
dad,
going
and I
on?
tell my dad, I said, "Yo, relax. This is my house. You're being
So,
disrespectful."
no, on some real shit, you got to really think about that. You just said it talking to your son.
right? Yeah,
That's what I'm saying. I'm laughing through this shit, but you know how much trauma that shit. I just like I could never experience that with my son going up to him and say, "You think I'm a fucking joke?" Like want to fight him. But yeah, that what was going
And I
on,
went
and
up,
he's just
yeah.
yelling at me, and I'm in the middle of
I
the street
went
with
up
him,
to my
like, yo, what's
dad. I
about to
told
go
him, I
on?
said, listen, you got to go home. Like, you being disrespectful. Like, you causing a scene in front of my crib. Like, this and that. So I tell him, just calm down, relax. You know, nobody think you're a joke. Nobody, you know, I'm talking to him. So then he looks right in my eyes. He looks right in my eyes and tell me, you picking his fucking side?
You're like,
I
oh
didn't know what
no.
the fuck to do. So I
I
told him, I
remember
said,
my
yes.
wife's outside standing looking, Lissette's looking.
Yeah,
They had to put
Lissette's
the
over
kids
there
aside.
fucking
Her grandma was
shaking
out
and
there.
saying, "Oh my God, just get inside, get inside." I'm like, fuck, like this shit is embarrassing. Like I'm used to it because you know I've been through that. Like it's just
And I
whatever.
felt bad because look, my little brother Ant was there. We all say little, but he's big as shit now. He's grown.
Yeah,
But he's
a
always our
man.
little brother, man. To me, he's always my big brother. So I don't know if I felt like I was in a movie, but I tell you, I was on already, right? So in my head, I'm like, look, man, I love my dad to death. I always gotta say when I see something bad, I love him to death. You know, that's my OG right there. Always will be for the rest of my life. I don't give a fuck what we experienced growing up. I'm facing everything now and I'm handling it the proper way. Another disclaimer. But this man was saying all that crazy shit to me, and in my head, I'm like, this is the day. I'm gonna beat his fucking ass. Like
Yeah.
everything was coming out. So I remember he came up to me at one point. I think you turned your back for 1 second. I picked my father up and threw him in the fucking air. And he flew and landed on the floor, got up, hype and shit. Then he just came out of nowhere, got me to the side, threw me in the car like, you don't ever touch your fucking parents. You never put your any parents. And while he's holding me in the car, I look at my little brother because he cried. I'm like, Aunt, he would never hurt us again. Don't worry, I got you.
Yo, you
He's
did
never,
say that too.
Yeah, I was
You
like, he's
hype
never
as
gonna hurt.
shit.
He's never gonna hurt us again, bro. I'm gonna put this nigga down right now. So man, I'm just saying that was a night. Then the cops come, right? As soon as the cops come, my dad
Oh
puts
my
his
God.
arm over me like, we're good. We're just talking. We're just talking. So the cops are surrounding us. There's like 10 cop cars out there. And we're
Yeah.
like, yo, what's going
It
on?
pissed me the fuck off too, because I told him, I say, hey officer, listen, it's just an argument between father and his sons, and then he was like,
And you told me that
he
he's
was-
drinking,
he
but
said-
he's going to be
He
all
looks
right.
at me and said, you're drunk. I'm like, you fucking.
And you wasn't
dick.
even the
I wasn't
drunk
even
one.
Drunk, like I'm just. He like, I smell the liquor in your breath.
Thankfully,
I'm like, bro, what are
thankfully,
you
no
talking
one
about?
got locked up that night, but definitely could have turned. My father played that shit off. Cool Hand Luke. Remember that movie?
Yeah, and that's
he
what I'm
did.
saying,
He
like-
pulled out a fucking move out of the book. He went from mad drunk to cool OG again.
Yeah, it's
he was
just-
back, and
was
I'm right there
back.
in that moment. I'm like, oh, we're good.
Yeah.
Cops leave. My man went for round 2 of me. I said, I'm done.
He
My
pushed
wife
him off.
grabbed
I'm like, get the fuck
Yeah,
away
my
from
wife
me.
grabbed me like, come on, John, it's time to leave. She pulled a pepper spray out. She was about pepper spray on father. I know my dad, he's living with it to this day. Like, and I know he did apologize to us for it, and
Yeah, that's-
he tried his best, and
But
he
that's
told
right
us he would
there,
never
man.
do it. But
that shows you right there that
addiction.
and he has some mental issues.
So
man.
one
He
thing
has
I
some
was-
mental
yeah, one
issues.
thing
He
I
went-
learned
He
from
went
that-
through a lot of shit. He definitely been through a lot
one
of
thing
shit.
I learned from that is that when I see my dad going through his addiction and all his problems, lesson learned from me is that's in a sense is part of him, but that's not the dad I know. So I don't try to paint this bad image of my father. I know people be like, "Oh, you talk so down on him." Like motherfucker, you don't know. For one, like I said, this is just a
This is a
this is just
preview.
a small
This
thing.
is just a preview.
right?
Like, we can't go in details, but I
But-
feel like somebody get in trouble.
But the father I know is when he sobered the most genuine person I met in my life, and I did learn a lot from him. And I learned right there, don't get angry when you drunk.
yeah, that
Whatever.
shit.
Ah man,
That
but
shit
that was
fucking crazy.
guys,
That's
that
one
was
of
a
the-
night to remember.
That was one of the worst, but one of the funniest shits that ever happened in my life. Like that shit was
so many
fucking
emotions, so much going on. I remember I woke up the next day like, damn, did this really happen?
funny.
Like,
Yeah, but I
shit.
mean, that right there, man, that shows like my dad is flip of a switch. Like when he would abuse alcohol, it was a flip of a switch, and it's because he had mental health problems. Like he wasn't there
And he
emotionally.
didn't, he didn't seek
wasn't
the
there.
help for it. He didn't
And
get help
he
for
never,
it.
yeah, he never got help for it.
No.
Like, cause sometimes once in a while he'll talk about it nowadays, and he'll say something about his childhood or something
But
like that.
still barely.
And
It's hard.
and
He'll
this
tell me,
shit-
like I say, recently he'd been telling me stuff here and there, and he'll be like, you're grown now, and I just needed somebody there for me. Thank you for being there. But it's like he won't even tell me real deep shit.
Yeah.
He'll just tell me parts of stuff.
Like I don't know nothing about my grandfather with him. Like
No, I
ask
don't know
him
nothing about my
questions, and he'll
grandfather.
keep it very vague and stuff. So
All I know is
he been-
that
he been through some things. I
he's
know
been
through some things.
He was drinking and smoking at like 12, 13 years old with supposedly his own father put him on to it. Or stories like that. That's
what we heard, but we don't.
That's
know.
yeah,
for a fact.
and that it was some abuse behind there as well. And I felt like it carried on to my father,
Yeah,
and
that's what it do. I
he
mean,
he
that's
he
it's
fell into
facts.
addiction and bad holes, and he kind of passed it down to his children, and that's where it stopped at with us. We said
You
no, no,
say
no, 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 no.
you say he got bad hoes.
Huh? Fell in bad holes.
Oh, I thought you said he used to get bad hoes. I'm
No,
like, what the
no,
fuck?
he did fuck with them hoes though. I
No.
mean, it was a K and A, man. $5, $5.
Yo, that
But
shit, man.
yeah, we stopped it there, man. It's not going
And
down
it's
to our
and
children.
that's one thing too that got with me, where it's like that's why I didn't want to abuse anything for myself, because it was a fear for me. And to this day is a fear. Like the days I do drink and I get drunk, I get scared because I feel like, damn, if I take one more beer, one more shot with my family, is that the sip that's going to take me over the edge? Is what's going to make me angry? Like, cause I get scared that I'll turn like, oh my god, I can't even speak. What the fuck? I think I'm drunk now. I'll get scared that I'm gonna end up like my father. So that's why a lot of times I don't drink, and the only times I really do drink is like when I'm with my family, and that's because sometimes they peer pressure me. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. Like they do peer pressure me. They having a good ass fucking time. They're like, come on, man, take one shot, one shot. I'm like, nah, I'm chilling. Like I want the kids. I'm like, no, one shot, man, we chilling. Boom. I can't take one shot though. That's the thing with me. I can't take one shot. So if I
I
take a
couldn't take
sip,
one
man,
drink.
it's going. I'm gonna be there all night. And another thing too, I get drunk fast, man. I don't know if that's a good thing or like a bad thing. Like
I guess it's good
I
for
don't
what
know,
I see
like
because you just get drunk off of like 4 mics, and meanwhile I need 3/4 of a Jack Daniels, a fucking Captain Morgan bottle.
my thing is like I get drunk fast. I can handle my liquor though and stuff like that, but I drink fast. Like I get like 6 beers in like a half an hour and shit. Like I'm like 4 shots deep. Like it just I don't know. Like cause I don't like the taste of that shit. That shit is nasty. Any beer is fucking nasty. I tried a lot of them. They're all fucking nasty. All liquors are nasty.
I don't
That's
know,
all
man.
nasty.
Them
That's why I just drink
IPAs I
it
used to
fast.
drink, they were cool, like real
Nah,
cold. They were pretty
fuck
cool.
that. IPA shit tastes like fucking animal hair. I don't know what the fuck it is, but it's nasty. But I think that's why I get drunk fast. I just hate the taste. So I just be like, all right, fuck it. Y'all want to have a good time? Boom, I get drunk real fast. Mind you, they start drinking before
It's
me.
better
Like
with
3 or
company,
4
I guess,
hours,
yeah.
they start drinking before me. And I get there, I'm only there for an hour and
Hey,
I'm already
motherfucker, you
drunk.
want to drink?
I'm already drunk. I'm like, y'all say y'all wanted to drink, man. What's going on? I'm
Man,
the
they
only
knew me when
dickhead.
I was drinking. I already came pre-lit. I was already drinking something before I pulled up.
Yeah, that shit, man. But a lot of times I don't do it neither because I get deep in my head too, man. A lot of time when
like
I
I
get
said,
drunk,
that's
I
when the
go
demons
home.
come out.
Yeah, I get
For
deep
me,
in my
for me.
head. I get depressed. Fucking anxiety's off the wall. It's just addiction
thing,
does a lot of things. I'm not addicted though, but I just want to go back.
I guess
to
the
addiction.
effect of alcohol. You can say the negative effect. Remember,
Yeah,
still negative for your
and
mental health.
substance abuse.
You said
Particularly.
Shelston.
No,
Substance.
I said substance.
No, you did.
Substance abuse. Mainly alcohol. And drugs. It affects the same part of your brain that affects the schizophrenia, anxiety, and bipolarness. So that's another reason why I feel like some people like should just be careful, like try to get help in certain ways, because you don't want to boost that kind of stuff, especially those three. Like I feel like those three can definitely harm you in a way. I mean,
Harm you or others, as well.
both.
No, I'm saying I mean like harm you and others. Sorry.
Yeah. I mean, it could do both. I mean,
More of the
it
story
just
is just take care of yourself out there.
yeah, take care
know?
of yourself because you want to take care of yourself mentally too. I mean, you
Yeah.
don't want because just think about it. If you keep abusing drugs and stuff like that, and you're mentally not there, you're gonna keep going until you're physically not there. You understand? Like it's just that's just how it goes. You're gonna keep chasing it. And I don't know, but like a lot of people say, like once you start taking different drugs, it's not the same high. So now you got to keep catching the high
Yeah, that
higher.
I
That makes sense. I don't
for
fucking
it's
know.
100% true though. Like the first time I smoked marijuana compared to the 1,000th time or 10th, 100, whatever, what I was doing was chasing that first high. That first high felt crazy. I ain't gonna lie. Like I can't explain that feeling. It was just, bro. It just felt like what's them things you see in the Arctic, the color lights. What they call them? You know what I'm talking about? The purplish blue ones.
Oh yeah.
None of us know the name to it, but anyway, I know people probably know it.
Nah,
I'm saying
wait,
you're like
hold
you're
on.
like in the ice and the aurora lights. I don't know. It's probably that's probably a song.
Fuck, man.
The Atlantic
Anyway,
Lake Town.
no.
I don't know, but anyway, I felt like I was just like in that cloud, like they say, cloud nine.
You was riding the purple one or the blue one?
None of them.
You was
I
riding
felt
one
like
of
I
them.
was in a Teletubby show. It felt
Nah,
weird,
nope.
but enjoyable at the same
Fuck
time. And I was
Teletubbies.
eating that
shit
pink,
used to give me anxiety.
that pink shit. Nah,
Fuck
but
that shit.
it was like a crazy feeling because I remember the first time I got high, I was like, "All right, Jose, I holler at you, bro." Right? We smoked. He rolled some shit up, a Dutch, right?
That nigga rode dirt.
No,
dirt.
listen.
That was dirt.
We found a 24-ounce Pepsi bottle on the floor. He's like, "Yeah, we could do it like this." He burned the hole. He put the Dutch in there. We started smoking it off the floor. And I was behind my middle school. I went to Conwell.
Nah, y'all
So we back
crackheads.
there
Y'all
smoking,
crackheads.
right? So I remember walking home after like 10 minutes. I'm like, I'm feeling it. Then all of a sudden it hit me. And all I see him was down the block. Soldier boy, you. He just kept cranking. I'm like, yo, what's wrong with him? Then I felt my heart said, dude. Like when the time, I was like, oh shit, what's going on? And I just started holding walls, walking home. He like, you gonna be good. And he just cracking up. And I'm not laughing shit. I was bitching. My heart was in my ass. I'm like, shit. Then when I just got in, I remember I closed the door and I could hear everything. I know you and Ant was in the back room. Mom was up there. Thankfully, none of y'all came down, man. That would have been terrible because I was not able to handle it that day. And I remember just holding on to the door for like 10 minutes until Mom was like, "That's you, Jay? You inside?" I'm like, I didn't say nothing until she said it again. I was like, yeah. And then my head's just spinning. And I remember I went to the cabinets. I fucked something up. And I went to my room and I laid down and I felt anxiety and my heart. And I told myself at night, and I started almost crying. I was like, please, when you wake up, don't ever do this again. I never want to feel this again. I never want to feel this again. You're saying you never want to feel it again, but when I woke up, I wanted to feel it again. And then ever since then, after that, with smoking, I didn't get them feelings. I started feeling the joyful, the laughing, nonstop laughing, to a point I had one of my close friends wanted to fight me because I just kept laughing. And he was like,
Yo, that's
you blowing my
crazy.
high, bro. And I'm like, bro, I'm high as shit. I'm having fun.
That's crazy. You made me want to smoke right now.
No, don't. You
Say no.
you will go to a hospital 100% the way you are.
It's like, no, hell no.
You will start bitching.
We'll never
Oh
find
my
out.
God.
To be real. Like, that shit, I ain't touching
Ever
that
say
shit.
never. You be retired one day and you be in a fucking
Hell,
ocean view.
shit, that's
You
gonna be
take
worse.
or you eat an edible. You be like, what the
65
fuck?
years old and I'm a high ass old head.
I mean, a lot of people try the first time when they're retired though. They
You're
take an edible.
crazy. My saggy ass.
Or don't be
belly,
like our
that shit gonna
cousin.
get snatched.
Don't be like our cousin. He took a edible or smoking, was in the shower crying, sitting on the floor.
Who?
Our cousin.
We're not gonna name him.
Oh, Pochi.
Uh,
He'll tell you the story. He'd say he sat there just fucking bitching and had the
What
shower
he
flowing
said?
on him, telling his wife, like, I don't know what's going
yeah,
on.
he told his wife. He said, I'm gonna die today. I'm gonna die.
Yo, so it affects everybody differently, man. Especially what you smoke. You got to be careful what you copping up.
Yeah,
You
hell
know?
yeah.
Back
man.
then, with me, it was, I can't say where it was at, but, you know, it wasn't the way it is now.
Tell him what
Dispensary, I'll
happened.
tell you
Though. Tell him what happened. Now you gotta tell him the story.
that. Oh, yeah.
Tell him what happened.
All my peoples know about this story, but one day I went to go buy weed from a buddy of my friend, buddy of his. We're gonna say a buddy of his, and I didn't really know this guy, so I went up there. You know, I'm walking. I had $10 on me. I said, "Let me get 2 nicks." And, you know, back then it had to be quick. I can't get too much info, but boom, I got the weed. I went to the store, went to buy my wrap like usual, right? So I went to the poppy store, went to go get my wrap, and I'm feeling them in my pocket. I'm like, oh, this joint's small. He gave me some small ass nicks, so. I pulled them outside the store real quick when I walked out somewhere and I opened it. I'm like, this not a Nick jar. The jar was real tiny, so I put it in my hand. That shit looked like a baby too. I said, yo, he gave me crack. Like, this is crack. I went back to my boy like, bro, he sold me crack. He was like, what? I was like, yeah, this ain't weed. So he went back and told me, like, yo, you sold it? He's like, oh, I didn't know that was your boy. He was like, for real. He just looked like this white guy, you know, coming through. He want the crack, like the shit out here. And I'm like, nah, man, I don't do that. I said, Nick's like Bud. So, you know, I ended up getting the bud back. But that story right there, man, I
Nah,
should've
they
took that as
saw
my
him
wake-up
doing that
call.
shit. They
Nah,
knew. They knew, man.
Nah. But it
He
was.
bought crack, y'all.
I didn't
Y'all
ask
see
for
somebody
it,
who
though.
bought crack? He bought crack. man.
I didn't ask for it, man. I was just looking for my bud, man. I was trying to get my bud for my buddy.
man.
My-
You got that shit.
He said, Smokey. Smokey taking the shit in the yard.
They
Nah,
got
but
him,
yeah,
yo.
so-
He was buying crack. That's crazy.
After that, man, the way I felt, I went to smack the shit out of the bull. But, you know, I wasn't going to do any of that.
That was funny as fuck, man. When you finally told me the story, I was cracking the fuck
And it took
up.
me a long time to say because, you know, now people say, you crackhead. I never did crack. I just mistakenly
You
got
bought-
it.
Nah, you
Mistakenly.
bought crack. You bought crack. You do crack, don't you?
No, I ain't do no crack.
Yeah,
He said, "Hey, bud, you want $1?"
that's crazy, man.
Oh man, but yeah, that's another story.
Um, one thing I wanted to say about addiction is
I just finished.
it has 4 C's, and he mentioned a little bit of
Seeds or elements? What are you talking about?
C's. Ah, shit, something is
What,
my
the
eye.
crave thing I was saying?
Ah, shit.
It's crave, compulsion. You talking about that?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it
I heard
was
about that.
compulsion, control,
Yeah.
uh,
Compose,
cravings,
cravings,
and
and
consequences.
yeah,
So
consequences. Yeah.
compulsion is, I don't even think I'm
Acting out
pronouncing
of
that word right.
compulsion.
No, it's just can't stop the addiction, babes. Like it's just it's too much.
Mm-hmm.
Like stuff like that. Control. Y'all know what that means. Like you just lost control of it. You lost control of the addiction. It's taken over now, and
If you tell yourself
it's
you ain't
hard.
gonna do it, but you end up still doing it that day, you lost control.
Yeah. Craving. With a lot of people, you have cravings for the alcohol at the end of the week, or you have the craving for the weed when you wake up and you do
I
what's it
like
called? Wake
what?
and bake.
Wake and bake.
Y'all do
Yep.
the wake and bakes, dirty asses. Um,
Chill. You don't know that.
I'm saying if you do a wake and bake before brushing your teeth, that's wild.
Yeah. And unless you just
I
sleep
don't
over,
know. I
you
just
sleep over
know
your
doing
boy.
anything before brushing your teeth is wild.
You sleep over your boy house and you wake up and see one of the roaches. Like, let me hit that doobie real quick. Wake up.
Ew, what? You picking up roaches from the floor just smoking in the morning? That's bro.
Roaches are the pieces of blunts, the small little pieces.
Yeah, I know what that is, but I'm saying like you're gonna wake up, look at that, and be like, I need to smoke that.
When you addicted and you like the high, yeah, people do that. People take 10, 20 roaches at the end when they're done,
And they roll it up and
re-roll it, and that's disgusting. But I did it too before.
Don't ever
From friends.
Don't ever use a cup in my house again.
I'll bring a plastic cup.
Bring a disposable
I'm
cup.
gonna give it to your
Yes.
dog Philly.
Don't give nothing to my dog. The other thing is
Consequences.
consequences. Again,
It's consequences
everybody
to
knows
your actions.
everything has consequences. Everything in life has consequences. You guys know that. Again, I didn't want to make this episode to be some type of fucking counselor because the last thing we want to do is tell you how to live your fucking life and tell you anything about what we talked about. We just want to get some insight. We want to make you guys think. We want to make you guys talk to us. We want that feedback. We just want you guys to open and see other things, and that's why we talk about a lot of things here. Cause we just want you to get a different view on certain things and how can it affect your mental health. And hopefully this episode did. And to some of you guys, I know some of you guys are still going to watch the episode and be like, man, be quiet, I'm okay, and this and that. Yeah, you're okay now, but in 3
You're
to
okay
5
for now.
years,
I said that for years, man. If you're addicted to something, just know it's not okay, man. Look, whatever I'm gonna lead them with. Don't be in a situation how I was for years. If you know you're addicted to something, you have the feeling, you have the sense of it at the moment, or you've been knowing it for a while, make that change, and you're not weak for seeking help. I think at a point I thought I always felt weak. Like I didn't tell nobody I was addicted because I felt like that was me being weak. Like if I tell you that I'm addicted to something, that's me telling myself that I'm weak in an area in life that I can't control it. It goes back to all that. Like I'm weak, I can't control this. So I never would admit that I was addicted at the time. Because who wants to seem weak? But now I want to, be able to what I've done and learn from it and help others. So don't be afraid to admit that you have an issue. It's hotlines out there. You got us. Message us, and hopefully you got somebody that cares about you, or like I said, there's some type of supportive group out there. But do not be afraid to speak up and say that you have a problem with something, because that's step one, is admitting that you have a problem. Okay.
yeah, man. What I want to leave you guys with is stop it. I mean, don't stop what you're doing, because like I said, I'm not here to tell you how to live your life. I'm saying stop the addiction part. If you drink every weekend, don't drink every weekend. Drink one weekend out of the month. I don't know. Drink every other weekend. I don't know. Just something to help yourself, because an addiction to anything is not good for you. I mean, it can affect you. Even if the addiction means you're addicted to writing your name every day in a book for the rest of your life. I don't think that'll be good for you. I mean, maybe it could take you away from some things that you can experience during life instead of writing your name every day in a fucking book. Like, that's what I'm
Maybe
saying.
you could
Like,
be writing your name on a check.
yeah, like that's what I'm saying. Just it's just little things too. Like, not just the alcohol addiction. Any addiction, it's just get help. It's okay to get help. It's okay to not be okay. That's an old saying that's going to be around forever because it is true. It's okay to not be okay because there's people out here that really want to help you. I really want to help you. I really want to see you do better. I really care about you. I really hope you know you mean more than whatever you're going through. That it just that's just what I want you guys to leave here with, at least to think about. Like, damn, maybe I do need to calm down, or damn, maybe he is right. I shouldn't be addicted to something like this. But yeah, man. I mean, thank you guys again for watching this, and
Yes, yes,
please
yes.
share. Let's grow this community. Um, I said community right. I did say it right.
Oh, you see it.
I said community right.